Do you feel that AI is going to replace all the jobs?
Depends on who you are. If you are doing a lot of things manual, I think it will eventually replace you. I look at it from a sense of like accountants. So before, with accountants, they had this whole filing system and they'll take all your books and okay, cool. But the people who knew how to work QuickBooks got hired more. And it's not necessarily like the people who aren't valuable, they just didn't go with the times. So we're in this transition of where we have to go with the times. It's not you're less valuable, it's just like this is a tool that is going to almost be required in order to do your job. And if not, they're going to hire somebody who knows how to utilize it because it increases their productivity like 10 times. So I'd rather have the person who does use AI and their productivity is 10 times more, their output is 10 times more, rather than the person who's still doing it manual, but they have pride in doing it themselves.
Hey entrepreneurs, it's Connie S and the S is for Systems. And today on Life with Systems, we have another, what we used to call just guest, but it's really my friend. Hi, Nikki.
What's up, mama?
How are you?
I'm good.
So give us a little introduction about who you are, and then we're going to get into all these questions.
They don't know?
They should know you. If they're looking at me, they got to know who you are.
Kid from Queens, New York. Was in the Navy for about 9 years or so. And then I got a bank job, and then I got really sick and quit the bank job to do content for the #1 motivational speaker, 𝗵𝗵𝗶𝗄, and then got caught up in that. And this is what I'm doing now, creating content. Yeah, man.
That's a heck of an introduction. I mean, because that's a long journey. Like none of that connects.
No.
How Navy?
Yeah.
Let's talk about that.
So what had happened was I'm a very spontaneous person. So I was working in Times Square, and then I realized that what am I supposed to do next? And I was like, well, my mom can't. I don't want my mom to pay for college, so I'll just go to the Navy. Right? And so I literally signed up and I was gone like a couple of days later.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, my mom wasn't happy.
Well, no, her baby just left.
Yeah.
Days later, Nikki?
Yeah, no, days later. I didn't have no job, no nothing. Like, you're supposed to go to the Navy with like a job, like IT engineer, something like that. I came under like undesignated. So people who like paint and grab rope and clean and all that stuff, that was me.
Okay. Yes. And how decision that fast out the gate?
That's how I am.
Did you ever have any regrets?
No. I traveled. I saw 20 countries before I was like 22.
That's a bonus.
Yeah. So I have no regrets at all.
So when you came out, what was the first step?
When I came out of Navy, get a job, but I got a job before I left. So after being undesignated, I eventually got an IT job over there because I realized that's the thing that'll translate the best in the real world. So when I was getting ready to transition out, I just applied for an IT job. And so it was very quick. So I was getting 2 paychecks at the same time.
Come on, big money, Nikki.
Don't do that.
So now I feel a little bit better. If the transition was IT, so yeah, clearly tech has been a part of your life and something that you appreciated.
Yeah. Well, I've always been like a geek. So my mom always kept me in the house playing video games, gave me the latest technology, latest computers, everything like that, just so I would stay home. I'm from New York, so she didn't want me outside. So plus I'm an only child. So yeah. Everything about tech has always been a part of me. And even though I'm not close with my dad always said, I want you to get into computers so you could write your own check. So I didn't know what that meant at the time, but then I realized later down the road. Yeah.
And then the bank, how did that happen?
So, well, it went from, I actually worked at what are those people that gas station, but the big company. So the local, I live in Virginia, so the local gas people, Millers, right? They had a headquarters. And so I was the IT for all the gas stations in Virginia. And then I didn't like that. I got a higher paying job at the bank and did the bank for a bit. And I was just doing like tech support situations and servers and all that stuff, which bored the crap out of me. I went from traveling to just sitting in an office. I had an office, it was windows, cute, but it wasn't really for me. And so eventually I got very bored and I started like making content. I didn't do anything with content before. I just like started messing with it. And then in that transition of like the bank, then I started going on YouTube, and then this like really loud black man kept yelling at me, and who happened to be Eric Thomas. And I just got hooked, right? And so I joined his online community. I went to every single event for like 2 years straight. I'm taking my little Honda to like Miami, Detroit, all that stuff. Like I was everywhere, every event I was there, just pure volunteering. And then like after 2 years, they were like, you want to do social media? Because I was helping with just like little small stuff, things that Carl needed, I would do in a day that would take him like a month, right? And so they were like, you want to do social media? And I was like, I never did it, but sure, we could do it.
Sure.
Yeah, and so then that happened, and I grew it from 300K to 2.2 mil.
Come on with the numbers. Stop playing with me. Most people don't have the measurements.
Oh no, I got
analytics.
I got data.
You got all of it?
Yeah, I got data. I'm not a data person, but like if I need to flex, I'll flex real quick.
We like to flex.
Yeah, a little bit.
So when we think of speakers and conferences and attending at workshops and all the learning and the motivation, it gets expensive over time. Mm-hmm. Were you going and volunteering, or were you paying for the tickets every time you went?
No, I volunteered each time.
How do you go in? How do you get into those kind of spaces? Because you got to get into the room. Sometimes you got to volunteer. Most people don't want to do that kind of work. How did you get inside to even say, hey, I have a skill set, I would like to volunteer to help?
So I didn't start with a skill set. I didn't even know what I wanted to do. So I walked people to their seats. I checked people in. I was the food person. Like, y'all need food? I'll go get the food. Like, y'all need to go to the airport? I'll go grab y'all. Like, that's the type of person I am. Like, I'll figure it out what you need. And so then it eventually ended up being like some of the content stuff. I was like, all right, I could try this, I could try that. And then just messing around with things to the point where then it started to be the social media stuff. It didn't start that way. I was grabbing waters.
I didn't know that, first of all.
Yeah.
Secondly, I think that's amazing because the level of service that you have to have. Why do you think people don't do what you did and volunteer and ask and try and serve first?
Because they want to check. Money's not important to me. Money's never been important to me. Like, I think it's easy to make it. Now, the amount of money you want is where the limitations go. But making money isn't hard. And so, and plus being in the Navy for 9 years, that's all I knew was to serve. Like, we did everybody's job and not do everybody's job and got paid more. Like, I did everybody's job just because. So that I was already used to that. So for me to go and serve all over, like that's nothing to me. I still do it.
So, let me tell you, finding people that have the heart to serve, that's rare.
I'm finding that out.
Yeah,
I'm finding that out.
What struggles have you had in trying to find people that just wanted to serve? Now, everybody want to make some money because we like to travel. We like nice things.
Yeah.
But finding people that genuinely have the heart of service, how has that been a struggle for you?
So it's weird because it's like there's a part that I find people in the beginning that just want the check. But I think because I live in my truth that I attract people who are similar to me. Right. And so in the beginning, when I didn't really figure out how to show up as me, right, I was more of a behind the scenes person. So when I was trying to figure out what to do for myself, it was more of like, yeah, I could do this for this amount, or I could do this for that amount, or boom, boom, boom. Or even when I would do services, they would lowball me because they're trying to keep their check. Right. And so down the line, when I just really just showed up more as me, then I started attracting other people who are like really dope and just willing to serve. Even though I do still cash out and things like that, but it's refreshing to know that there are people that are that way. Now, they're there for me also understanding there's seasons for that, right? So not everybody, like I served for 2 years without a check. You feel me? Where some people could do 2 weeks without a check, right? And so that's also communication of like, what is it? What are you here for? There are some people like that come through that like legit don't know what they want. So they're there to serve until they figure it out. And then there's people who are like, I want the opportunity and I feel like I deserve the opportunity in about like 2-3 weeks. So if that can't happen, then yeah, I mean, like you, but sometimes they really, really dope. And the 2-3 weeks make sense. Majority of them are trash, but you know, it's fine. It's cool. Shout out to y'all. But I'm noticing that if you communicate with what they're really there for and really meet them with their needs, the serving part is a mutual thing.
And so you've built a team. We're going to hop around a little bit, but you've built a team that loves and supports you.
Absolutely.
Of course, teams grow, they get smaller. That's just what business looks like, right? But how did you decide on your core people?
Are we going transparent? What are we doing?
I mean, what are you trying to say?
What are we doing? So I made mistakes until I got it right. So what I did at first was gather people who were just like me, who I thought had the common goal, and we all were in the same page when we weren't, right? And then I found people who were there for me, right? So my big thing is always community. So I'm big on like, let's grow a community, And I realized the people who are on my team now were people that came from the community. Like who were legitly saw the vision, who understands the behavior that we do, understands the culture that we create, and understands like where I'm trying to go with it. Where before it was like friends trying to do it together and it just didn't necessarily work because everybody has their own needs and their own vision, and there's no wrong with that. But I noticed that it's just more of I should find people that see exactly what I'm doing and is for it than necessarily trying to force something because we all have like common skills or we came from the same background and things like that. That ain't never work out. I would never do it again in my life. Love them, but nah.
And I think it's just a struggle across the board because you have people that you love and you want to bring this together and you want to do these things. But what I've learned is that you want to find people that can do the skill.
Yeah.
Can you do this task without the emotion attached to it? Can you get this done? And so I know for you with growing the way that you have over these years, and you're going to grow even more, it's going to be a journey. Is there anything that you're really, really, really looking forward to team-wise? We'll talk about we'll get into AI and all the other stuff. But team-wise, because again, a big part of when you're talking about systems is scaling a company and growing it, it comes with the team part. Yeah. And so with the lessons that you have, with the things that you learn, with the L's that we done took, what are you looking forward to with having a team? Because I know culture is also important.
Culture's huge. I think the thing that I'm looking forward to is seeing them grow, right? And seeing their skills based off how I learn, right? I realize that the more that I learn, the more that trickles down for them to eventually do something for themselves, to learn something new, to finally figure it out. So to see where they're going to take things actually excites me. It's actually just bigger than my vision. It's them having their own to then incorporate it with what I'm doing. So that's what I'm looking most forward to. Now the patience for that is just a little bit kind of like shaky.
A little sketchy.
I'm a Leo, so I mean I'm working on me. God has me. But the rest is just like, I mean, like we'll see what happens. But I think that's, for me, it's not necessarily about the revenue that can come in, even the amount of people that they can serve themselves. It's more of like them figuring out what they want to do and how they can help for the big scheme of things.
I love that. And I also appreciate how much you love community.
I do.
That's a big deal. You have an amazing community and they ride or die for you, Sugarfoot. They love them some Nicky. Don't play in these comments. They're finna drag you. They are serious about who you are as a person. When it comes to building a community, how did you start? I
got on live. I was on live Monday through Fridays for like 4 or 5 years or something like that.
I'm sorry. Could you say how long? Let me make sure. Is your mic on? How long? Hello. How long did you say you were building this community?
4 or 5 years.
4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
So you didn't just get on live one time and you got
No. When I went on live first time, I think I had like 4 people on my live. They were cute. They were great. They didn't say anything to me. You know what I mean? But the more and more, it's crazy because it's not necessarily about numbers. It's about, you know, how long do they stay and how engaged they are. And then what they do afterwards, right? So I realize I'm an introvert, and so I attract a lot of introverts, right? So they're not the type to communicate as loud as we expect on social media. Like we expect, I dropped the post or I'm on live, you guys are talking to me and blah, 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 this is gonna be great. I got people who are super locked in. Like they're not going nowhere, right? They're wherever I say for them to go, they're going to do it. But I'll never necessarily see the engagement as much as I would like to. But then when I go outside, they're like, I've been part of Deeper Than the Brand for like 5 years. I was like, I grew it at 6 years. What are you talking about? Right? Like something like that. And like, I've followed everything you said. I got over 10,000 followers because of you. I tried this new AI thing. My thing went viral. And I'm like, oh, y'all listening. Right? And so I had to like get it out of my head on some. It's not necessarily about numbers. We can get caught up in it because like you jump on social media, you just see a guap of numbers. Whether you checking somebody's following or you checking somebody's like views and things like that. And you're like, my little 100 to 1,000 things, that ain't nothing, right? And then I realized it goes more towards who am I impacting and like who's really watching, right? My community doesn't just go with just like regular smegular people. There's some like big people who like follow me that are like, I'm in your community. I don't know what I'm doing in there, but I love you. And so I got whatever you gave me. Right. And my whole thing is just like, how do I continue to just serve them? Because it's not me being the next big influencer, it's them being the best successful brand they can be. And by me just, look, this is what I learned. This is because I'm not coming in like an expert. I'm still trying to figure this thing out. I mean, like, so it's more of like, look what I found. Look what I found. Look what I found. They're like, I love it. It got me this many views. I love it. I got 4 million sales from it. And I'm like, can I get $5?
Just 5.
Just 5. No, okay, it's all right. So that's cool. But yeah, no, community is like number 1 to me.
And I love that you said earlier that you found some of your team in your community.
Yeah.
Is that the way to go? Because I feel like if they've already listened to you, mm-hmm. they trust you, mm-hmm. that whole know, like, and trust part of it, mm-hmm. being able to find people that are already used to serving you, mm-hmm. to be able to bring them onto your team. Do you feel like that's a strategy that you would recommend?
It's a strategy I go through that has worked for me. And I mean, it has its ups and downs, right? The funny thing is like, with what I teach is like, create your own brand. So I'm teaching people how to create their own brand. And so they're going to create their own brand. And so that's going to be good and that's going to be bad at a certain point, right? Yep. So, but for me, I just feel like they get it and they give grace and they give amazing feedback because they know they've been in the inner works. Like I got Kurt I did community wrong in the early stages. I did community all wrong. I thought it was like, okay, you said, put them in one spot and that's it, right? I didn't know, like, okay, put them in a Facebook group, promote the community, show up once in a while, boom, right? But the engagement was dead because you're not leading them to do anything. You're not giving them activities. There's not like a big purpose of the community. So when Kurt was there, he was in that stage of where I didn't know what the hell I was doing with the community. I was just like, oh, these people love me. That's great. Yay. But why is this not happening, right? So he started to get really active with it. And he started creating different polls, different activities, this, that, and the third. He suggested me go live on this specific day. And so he grew into a community manager. I didn't even know what a community manager was until I saw Kurt really act the way he acts. And so Kurt is the heart of Deeper Than the Brand, because without him, there would be no engagement. There would be no communication to the members. And so when we see that, and then we're seeing other people grow, like, oh, this is not in place. Like, we got Candace, this is not in place, blah, blah, blah. You said this is coming out. When is it coming out? These are all the things that need to happen. So like, it's worked for me because I'm very transparent. Like, if you ever watch any of my lives, I will tell you what I'm doing wrong. I'm not here to be like, and so this is this. I'll be like, all right, this post didn't work. I dropped this course. It got like 2 things in it. Like, I messed up. And they're like, but we love you. You didn't mess up. You're great.
We love you.
We're going to help. Everybody buy it now. And I'm like, y'all so dope. But that's the power of community, because it's like, it is your marketing team without necessarily paying them. You know what I mean?
I like that. Because they can't wait to name drop you somewhere. You know, you should really follow.
Oh,
yeah. Oh, they are.
I'm getting used to it.
Are you getting used to it?
Nah. It just sounded good on the podcast.
I received that.
Yeah.
Let's cut that part out. Do you feel, because we're going to touch on that a little bit since we already here.
What's up?
On the influencer title.
What? Huh?
You all right?
I'm a creator.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay. Do you
that
believe
has influence?
There you go. I can receive that.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of.
As long as you kind of get it. You don't have to fully get it.
But the creative is the heart of it. So tell me what a creative is.
I just create and I serve people. That's my whole thing. That's all I want to do. I don't want to do anything else. I just want to create, get an idea, execute on it, post it, go live, do stuff. That's all I want to do. That's my thing.
Tell me your biggest win where you felt like, I'm on the right track. I'm doing it. Look at me go. I'm winning. Do you have one of those moments?
I mean, I have a few. I think one was recently I was speaking at the Next Level speaker event, right, in Atlanta. And it's like a full circle moment for me, right? Because so I started with E, and so now I'm on stage serving his people. But like before, I was always like, they put me on stage and it was cute or whatever. I was like a little rookie, it was cute. But this is a whole like super confident, I'm walking in my truth, Nicky, and like not really caring if I impress you or not. It's like, this is who I am. And so that moment I was very proud of. I think starting my YouTube channel, like my own personal YouTube channel, and starting from scratch and growing it to almost now double to what I did the podcast was projected to go. I think that's something that I like, the starting over moments. Those make me really, really proud, because it keeps me humble. Like, it's like, nah, this isn't a fluke. Like, you could do this over and over and over again. And it's not just like, oh, because you had a celebrity person, somebody already had a name. Like, nah, you could do it for yourself. You could do it for this person.
Make another 𝗺𝗆.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't go that far, but yeah, I mean, like, yeah, there's things like that. So those are coming top moment. Of course, like, Think Media was really big. You know, that the social media marketing world and Think Media, like that crossover, is huge. I think in for what I do, because you don't see a lot of people like me speaking about social media and AI. Like, there's not a female that's Black and Puerto Rican who's gay as hell. You know what I mean? Like, talking about none of this. So it's like, it's interesting that those crossover moments are crucial.
Speaking of,
yeah,
do you feel like there was any hesitation or pushback just social media wise, or do you feel like the judgment was out there because of being gay as hell or being Black and Puerto Rican or any of that? Do you feel like you weren't respected for what you were able to do, or do you feel like you still had an even playing field?
I think I don't know if I didn't have an even playing field. I think I was respectful of it in the beginning, because of my thoughts on it, right? Like, I'm not a flamboyant person, and I come from a Catholic background, and so it's not necessarily spoken about all the time or ever, really, pretty much. And then like going to, partner with ET, my man's a pastor. You know what I mean? Like Sabbath on Saturday, like don't talk to me type vibes. Like that side has never been like part of him. So I was like, oh, I'm not going to ever fit in. So me being a part of that brand in the beginning was like, okay, I got to like chill a certain kind of way, not do the certain things. And when I figured out my like footing, I didn't necessarily care what people thought, because like I was finding my audience. And so I'm not necessarily for everybody. I wasn't made for everybody. My message is for everybody. So if some people are offended, some people don't like me, some people, that's just life. I can't necessarily do anything. I'm not trying to gain every follower. I'm not trying to gain everybody's like love and everything like that. The people who like me, they really, really like me. And the people who don't like me don't have the nerve to say it in my face. So I'm cool with that.
Get these hands.
I didn't say that. You did. I didn't say nothing.
You like my cry?
I'm 5'2".
Who are your widow?
Yeah, I'm 5'2".
You did
I got hands,
everything.
though.
So let's talk about your secret sauce to creating content. Mm-hmm. Because as soon as your videos pop up, everybody's like,
some
I sat and watched all these videos just of you eating cookies. How do you create the engagement, the engaging content that makes people stop everything that they're doing?
So the cookie thing is new. Don't.
I'm just saying. I mean, no, I don't want to dismiss it down to just cookies, but that is the type of content that we're used to seeing. So whatever you're doing.
Mm-hmm. Well, actually, that's kind of new, meaning like showing just a little bit more of like my personal side. And that's more of like is calculated, because what I wanted to do was create the educational content first to like solidify the expertise. Make sure I knew like what features I liked on the platform, what platform I actually liked, and like really figured out what worked and what didn't. So that when I did show the personal side, it was more organic, more freeing, and people would understand like, oh, I could create content like that and it still works. So I just got to add sound effects and zoom in, zoom out and things like that. So for me, it's like what's going to grab the person's attention. Normally the basic is like, what is going to grab their attention in the first 3 to 4 seconds, right? Is that a hook? Is that something visual? Is that text? Like, how are you grabbing their attention in some way, shape, or form? Once you grab that, like now it's a matter of just keeping their attention. So is that distractions? Meaning like, are you changing the camera angle from here to here to here, right? And you're still talking, but the eyes is looking at something new, whether that's text, whether that's thing. So like, I grab their attention and then I keep it through the whole video. And so it doesn't matter necessarily at what topic you're talking about. If you know how to grab their attention and you know how to retain it, it doesn't matter the expertise. It doesn't matter the situation, entertainment, motivation, education. It's just like grab it, keep it, call to action at the end.
I think people struggle with keeping it. Why is that?
I think people don't know how to storytell. I think they OD on it, and OD either from I'm overthinking it and I'm just gonna not do it, or I'm gonna overdo it, right? And so I have to do all these flashy things and I always have to have it look a certain kind of way, and that's not necessarily the truth, because we've seen cat videos that go viral.
No, I love cat videos.
I don't like cats.
I don't like
dog
cats
videos
either, but I watch the videos because their hands are so fast.
Do that noise again?
That's what cats do.
She said Pepe.
Who ain't never watched a cat video. Don't be looking at me with judgment eyes around here.
No, but I think if you understand the storytelling of like what catches their attention at first, and then how are you taking them kind of through like that story arc? Like how are you bringing them up with their emotions? How are you creating their attention? And then how are you bringing it down? Like, oh my God, what's about to happen? And then bringing it back up. That's where if it just stays flat, right? I'm going to tell you this. Here it is. It's like, okay, great. Thank you. Like, what about it? Like, you have to still treat people as humans. And so the way that you do that is by, if you can just practice like, yo, how was your day? My day was blah, blah, blah. Okay, now do that same thing in your content. Like, how do you, if you can have a conversation with somebody and they don't grab their phone and just start scrolling, then you could probably do content.
Oh, that's good. I like that. Mm-hmm. So that means that if I'm talking to somebody, they grab their phone.
Nah, your storytelling is trash.
All right. Well, thank you guys for coming out today. No, I love that. And I think the engaging part, people are just learning all these words. Yeah. Like, we're just getting into social media heavy where we've seen behind the veil and now we know what ads are. We know what it looks like to market. Now we know that there's strategy behind colors and all this. We never knew that before. Yeah. And I think people are right now in this weird space of trying to figure it out, but not realizing that there are communities worth of people that have already figured out the problems and have the answers for it. And so I love that one of your solutions is you have to grab attention.
Yeah.
What's one of your highest engaging videos that you've had?
It was dumb. Anytime majority of like my high ones are super entertaining, right? So it was probably a remix. I think this got like 10 million. It was like 5 to 10 million views. And it was a chick that was trying to twerk wrong, right? And I'm just like laughing at it and said something to the effect of like, this is why you shouldn't jump on every trend for your content, right? Now, granted, the person was actually a comedian, so it wasn't making fun of her kind of thing. But people look into things like my background kind of blurred. So they were like, she's hiding something. And they came up with their own situations. So, and then there's some other remixes that I've done that was high, like 1 million and stuff like that. That is just in an entertainment kind of vibe. Because what I realize is that when we're looking at numbers and brand awareness, entertainment is always going to bring the people in, right? We go on social media for like just to a sense of relief and like, I'm bored, let me go check it out. So let me get entertained real quick. And then they get into the motivation and the education side of things. That's not necessarily their very, very first thing. I'm not grabbing Instagram, TikTok to be like, let me learn, right? I'm going on YouTube for that. You feel me? But I'm not going on Instagram and TikTok. What can I learn today? Nah, I just happened to catch it and I'm learning something. Praise God. But I'm mainly going on social media just for like dumb scrolling and just laughing or, oh my God, or some type of shock value some way. So if you're trying to get the numbers, do something that's semi-entertaining, that's still within your brand. I ain't telling y'all to go dance and y'all not dancers because some of y'all are trasho. But it's true. Stop it, please. But if you can still figure out ways to be entertaining while still being on brand, I say go for it. I'm cool with it.
So I think it's, I agree with you. I'm a doom scroller. Instagram. I've never opened Instagram. I thought you were going to say I agree with you. They're trasho. Oh, the twerking. I've seen some bad videos, but I also can't really talk. I didn't even say nothing about twerking. I didn't say. Did I say anything about twerking? My bad. Cut clearly that. On your. Let me pull up these Snoopy socks. Oh, those are cute. I am definitely. Engaged. So for the people, I'm not watching nothing twerking. Instagram. I'm not doing this with you. Yes, we go on Instagram and we doom scroll and we search and. You know, now that you said that, no, I don't go on there thinking, I can't wait to learn today. What am I going to learn when I open up this app? But you did say you do that for YouTube. Yeah. Is that part of the reason why you decided to start your YouTube channel?
No, I started my YouTube channel because of longevity. So what I know with YouTube is that one is like Google and YouTube is one, right? And so before, now it's starting to come up. Like Instagram is now starting to come up when you Google your name. But before, when you Google Nicky in any way, right? you would not find anything of my Instagram. So all the work that I was doing on Instagram was not necessarily going out the way it should, right? And then Instagram and Facebook, they all have shelf lives, where on YouTube, you can find a video 6 years ago that's still relevant to what you're looking for, depending on what you're searching, right? So one, from a longevity and discoverability and searchability situation, I'm going to do that. Two, monetization wise, your content makes more money on YouTube than any other platform. That's a fact, right? Three, also from a monetization standpoint, people are there, like if they're, especially from an educational standpoint, if they're watching your videos, they're more likely to convert rather than the short form videos because they're already watching longer. So those times where on social media, you probably need like 7, 8, 9 touches because it's only like 30 seconds to a minute, you're already grabbing them from a 7-minute, 10-minute, 15-minute, they're already there, right? So they're already probably like, you know what? You've said everything that I needed to hear. You said all the trigger words. You solved my problem. Boom, where's my credit card? Or at least let me get on your newsletter. Or at least let me, click this link in some way, shape, or form. So they're easier. The community over there is different because they're intentional. Whereas on Instagram, they may find you. On Facebook, they may find you. TikTok, they may find you. But YouTube, they're seeking for you. Now, of course, there's still like that, you get on the YouTube page and the homepage and you find some new stuff based off your interests, but it's still based off your interests. You've already searched some of these things. So now videos are popping up based off what you've searched for. And I may pop up if you talk about content, if you talk about AI. I may pop up and you may like some of the stuff. And then you may just join all the stuff that I have. You may join the newsletter, whatever it is, right? I like that. That makes sense. Whereas, and I do that once a week. I do it a Monday video, and then a Monday live, and that's it. And making money over there, converting over there, having a great community over there, right? Whereas Instagram took me years, and I'm like, I gotta do this every day. This is exhausting. And this is why creative burnout happens, because of that whole, I got to have the pressure of doing it every single day and da-da-da-da. Where YouTube, I create my own schedule as long as I put the output that is up to par.
Creative burnout. Ooh, child. We're so exhausted. It's hard. It's hard helping people, and it's hard to think and be creative, even if it's natural for you.
Yeah.
It's still every day. What do I do? What do I want to post? What's current? What's going on? How have you pushed through creative burnout when you've had it? Because I got to see some of those moments.
I'm still in it. I think I'm probably, I would say 88% recovered from creative burnout.
And could you explain what creative burnout is for those that don't understand?
It's just that you are burnt out from creating. I don't want to make it complicated. I don't. And in this particular season is when, where your creative process is going. No, you're tired of showing up. You're tired of always posting. You're tired of, doing what you have to do for your brand. And so I had that. I had that really bad this year because I let just certain things continue, even though this person over here told me to stop a long time ago. I'm hard-headed and I'm a Leo and whatever. I make mistakes in life. But things that have helped me, I have this, I like changing routines. I am not the person who can stay with the same routine because I get very bored, right? So, but two things that are staple, which is prayer and meditation. Those are two things that are super staple in whatever routine that I have, right? But I walk 4 miles a day, right? If I'm not doing that, then I'm at least on the Peloton for 4 miles or something like that. I got to do something, right? I watch, like I either watch or listen to a podcast, right? And then I'll document it in my Notion, right? So I'm learning something new every single day. And then I'm now starting to just write, right? Every single day I'm writing, probably like I started at like 5 minutes a day because I'm not a writer. I'm not a natural writer. I'm like, why am I doing this? All right, I wrote, right? To like just whatever flows in my head, just I write it down, which then actually equals up to a lot of the ideas actually being like in a written form, which is wild to see. But now I have like my routine now is prayer in the morning, and then write in prayer in the afternoon, and then 6 p.m. I'll pray again, right? And in between that will be my walks, and that keeps me balanced. So I can go create, so I can have these meetings, so I can do what I do normally, and just and my meditation is different than, I'm super techie and I get it, but like I'll go into Vision Pro. Yep, I'll go into Vision Pro, go on the moon, put the stars on. That's my thing, right? I don't necessarily I'm the person that doesn't necessarily need a vacation to recharge.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't need a vacation to recharge. I create a space in my house. Like that'll normally be my downstairs, and that's why sometimes, majority of the time, I don't record downstairs, even though I got a fire downstairs. Right?
It is nice.
Thank you. But I'll keep a space to where I just recharge there, and I'll do the Vision Pro, or I'll just meditate on my own and things like that, and we good. Like I'm good. I don't have to do anything, and then my walks are like my escape. Because then I like talk to God through it, everything like that. And those things have kept me, have kept me balanced and have kept me going from this burnout and just time. Because sometimes it's like you could do all of that and it's still not necessarily working in the time frame that you want. And I think the reason why this burnout has lasted so long is because I allowed something to happen so long. And so I can't rush the process of my own recovery from it just because I'm like, well, it's done now. So like, okay, I did my prayer, I did all that, I'm good, we're great. No, like do this, and don't get it twisted. I'm going to give you obstacles around this time frame too. So because you ain't want to listen, you know what I mean? I believe in karma. So like if you feel like you needed to stop something and you don't listen, best believe your creative vibes is going to feel that eventually.
I hope that frees somebody. I'm sure it does, because when you get stuck in those kind of slumps, you think, I have to go to Dubai. I am one of those people. And also, you've created a space in your home. Mm-hmm. You have a very peaceful home.
Thank you.
You created a space at home, and you just walk.
That no one comes to, by the way.
No one knows. Give me a ticket out there.
No one even knows where I live.
They definitely did. I didn't even say to stay. I didn't even say where you are.
I think I said it earlier, so it's all good.
Okay.
More people are starting to know, but
that you don't live in Atlanta, even
or
though
New York.
Trying to bribe you.
Yeah, people think I live in Atlanta or New York. Some people think I live in LA. I don't know why. Maybe because it's the Nipsey thing.
Yeah. They think you're just running down and go grab some. That's not. They're shipping it. Yeah, you can just run down to the block and go pick it up off the court. Yeah, that's not how it happened. I think that burnout conversation is important because there's so many people that are overwhelmed right now. That's our foundation with the company of creating systems so that way you aren't burning out. So my heart is really in the mental health side of it. Like I care about business. All that stuff is good. But if I can get the tasks away from you, you have time to be able to focus, because you're going to have people say, well, I mean, I don't have time to go and take a 4-mile walk, but you got 4 hours worth of time on your Instagram page a day. You have time. You just have to find the time.
That's a fact.
So how did you make sure to find the time for both prayer and meditation?
I just found it. Like, but my thing is, I don't do any work before 12. Like before 12 is all me. Now, granted, I am a night owl, so it's not like it's a long time for me of me time, right? But I normally wake up probably like 9 o'clock, right? So 9 to 12. I'll do everything that I need to do, from walking to praying to, meditating, everything. If it goes a little bit longer, it goes a little bit longer. I'm cool. But I may accept a few calls from that time frame. But I have like a non-negotiable of like nothing. Like it's very rare that I take 11 o'clock call. It's very rare. And I don't necessarily care who it is. I don't care what opportunity it is, anything like that. Like, I just don't. That's me. Like,
when did you start that? Because that's a strict, on the business side, that's a policy, right? That's something you could put on your website and say, we do not do any business before this. I don't care what this email says. And on the personal side, it's a boundary because that's personal to you. When did you set that up?
I think it's going on like 2 years now. Yeah, I think it's going on 2 years. So some people think I just don't accept calls before 12 because I'm a night owl. Like, so they're like, oh, you're not up. I was like, no, I'm up. I just don't want to talk to you. You know what I mean? Like, it's not my time to talk. Plus, my brain don't work for you. Like, my brain works for God and cuddles. That's about it. You know what I mean? That nothing else. Like, I can't lie. Honestly, my brain doesn't really start thinking till 3-4 o'clock p.m. to be honest. But it could. I'm smart enough to maintain from 12 to 3. You feel me?
And you're self-aware too. You have to know what works best for you.
No, I'm very. I take self-awareness assessments. I'm really in tune with who I am and my flaws, and if I choose to fix them or not. Because there's some flaws I just choose not to fix, but I'm very aware of them.
How did you decide what you're not going to change?
It's just based off of feeling. If I don't feel like changing it, I don't find it such a big problem until the people that I'm really, really close with have a huge problem with it. I'm not changing it. You know what I mean? Like, right now, like, so it's funny, like, my fiance didn't meet me as an introvert, right? So when we reconnected, she was like, yo, you are a super, super introvert, right? And for me, I already knew that because of the pandemic made a seal on that. But I was already in that situation. But because she was like, okay, I need you just like to go outside just a little bit. Like, we got to do something.
Because she likes
Right. So like that situation I try to improve on bit by bit with a balance, because someone close to me wants to see me better, right? And so those kind of situations, then I'll change it. But other things, I'm like, this is who I am, and you accept it or you don't. I know of it, and I'm cool with that.
I love it. The self-awareness, that's so key. Because once you are okay, I'm okay with me.
Yeah.
And the people that are around me are all okay with me. Now, are there some things that I know I need to change? Yes. Yeah. And I love that you have made a hard line in the sand of, and this is what I want.
Yeah.
Because the people pleasing, I used to be a serious people pleaser. And why do they like me? And at some point, I'm like, you're making me not like me. Trying to get you to like me.
Yeah, no, I was destined not to be liked. Like I told you, I grew up Catholic and I'm gay as hell.
Somebody grab me a drink.
I mean, I was destined not to be liked. So like I really don't necessarily care at a certain point. Like I'm cool if you don't necessarily like how I have this like blunt but like I want to love you kind of situation, like F you, but like come hug you. Like let's figure it out why I said F you, right? Some people don't like that. I have a really direct joking, I will come for you. I'm a New Yorker. Like, so my jokes is probably to downplay you, and that's fine. Some people get it, some people don't. And like, for me, it's more of, I have my audience, I have the people who love me, and that's the most important thing. But I am aware that in certain crowds, I may have to not necessarily tone it down, just do it over there.
I receive that. It's a space and a place for everything.
That's fact.
All right, so let's talk about,
what are we talking about?
One of your favorite things. We're going to get into this AI conversation.
Okay.
Because when we first started talking to this about a year and a half ago, you were like, I have to go crazy on this. I know you want me to do this, and I should do this part, but I have to get out here and start having this conversation. Hey, we were talking about more team building and stuff. You were like, I, as Nicky, need to go.
I'm not doing no more team
and
building.
talk about AI.
Yeah.
Because it's moving fast.
Yeah.
What did you see that you were like, yeah, no, this is it?
Giving people time back. That's what I saw. I mean, AI is not there, right? So like AI is not necessarily here in like a replacement thing yet. It's really here to assist us to give us our time back. So like the little tasks that we don't necessarily like doing, for me, it's anything with like captions, email, stuff like that, where you would be like, give virtual assistant. I find myself giving her less and less things because I'm finding that I'm not spending so much time on it anymore because I'm using AI to assist me, right? So there's, just different AI tools that I use that gets me to a certain point, and then it allows me to kick in my creative side, right? Where before it'd be like a lot of research or that I'd have to manually do something and things like that. So for like instance, with like the video stuff, like if I record, like let's say a 30-minute video, right? Or like with this podcast, I'll see, like, I won't have to necessarily watch this whole podcast. I'll just put it in an Opus clip and it'll clip up some of the best parts. And then I can put my spin to it. I won't necessarily copy and paste it. I won't just be like, okay, took that, I'm posting it. Like now I get to put like certain GIFs on it. I get to put certain words on it. I get to put some certain pop-ups. So it saves me the time from watching this hour-long podcast, however long we go, to like 15 minutes. You feel me? With ChatGPT, that's my brainstorm buddy. Like I talk to that more than I talk to a human. I'm an introvert. I'm allowed to say that.
It's okay.
Don't come for me, right? But anything from like, hey, I want to do this workshop in my community. What do you think about that? What are some of the pain points that my audience would have for this workshop, right? If I have to do a sales video for that particular workshop, I'm asking that, so ChatGPT, and also I dump all my documents in it so it can grab my tone. So I don't necessarily always have to be like, I'm Nikki and I do this and blah, 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 and this is how I talk. It already has my tone in it. So when I say, yo, I need to tweet about this, I need to do this, it already creates it for me. And then I just kind of tweak it how I want to. So ChatGPT does that. Opus Clip does that. Canva does so many different AI stuff from a graphic standpoint. Midjourney, I say like I have an idea and it creates a whole like graphic design that I would have no business doing on my own, but it does it. And so it's like I said, from a creative standpoint, it's just a pure creative assistant for me.
Do you feel, and I know you spoke on it before, that AI is going to replace all the jobs?
Depends on who you are. So I think if you are doing a lot of things manual, I think it will eventually replace you, right? But if I look at it from a sense of like accountants, right? So before, with accountants, they had this whole filing system and they'll take all your books and okay, cool. But the people who knew how to work QuickBooks got hired more, right? And it's not necessarily like the people who aren't valuable. They just didn't go with the times. You feel what I'm saying? So we're in this transition of where we have to go with the times. It's not you're less valuable. It's just like this is a tool that is going to almost be required in order to do your job. And if not, they're going to hire somebody who knows how to utilize it because it increases their productivity like 10 times. So I'd rather have the person who does use AI and their productivity is 10 times more, their output is 10 times more, rather than the person who's still doing it manual, but they have pride in doing it themselves. So
can't nobody do it like me.
Yeah, no.
Not even this stupid AI. I'm the one. I know how to I write it down and I take it. The world is changing fast. And so if you can give, as we close, if you can give advice to all of these wonderful, amazing business owners out here that are looking to put AI technology, looking to create content, if you could just leave them with something to say, this is what's coming and this is what you need.
I guess I would have to say, if you value your time, use AI. If you value your time, AI. If you want to eventually save money, use AI, right? Because this is just where the world is shifting, and there's no denying it. We've seen it with social media. We've seen it with the internet. We've seen it if you want to go into kind of labors as well as like warehouses. We've seen it with machinery. And those people who know how to press the button kept their jobs. I mean, so it's like the writing is on the wall several times, and we're in that situation. And so if you don't, I'm not saying jump all in right now, because we're not there as far as some of these tools. There's thousands and thousands of AI tools, and over thousands and thousands suck. And they all have subscriptions. So you're going to be very broke if you just want to like, okay, Nicky said go and do all AI tools and I use them all. And now you have over $1,000 of subscriptions every month. That's not my fault. I didn't tell you to do that. Find one, find two. All right, based off what you need right then and there. Master it. Like there's ChatGPT. Here's the thing. People think, okay, I got to use ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, Perplexity, right? And I have to use all of them. Okay, that's $20 each. And you probably not going to use now one of them every single day. I use ChatGPT. I use it every single day. I use that voice feature every single day. I talk to it, literally talk to it every single day. Now, is Claude possibly better? Possibly is. Is Perplexity better? Possibly is. But I need to master this one in order to know what I'm missing. You don't even know what you're missing with some of these AI tools because you're bouncing to the next one, to the next one, to the next one. Probably sounds more familiar to social media, but we could talk about that another day. So just pick one, master it, see what you may need, and then move on.
Nicky, I love you.
I love you too.
Thank you for coming on. I appreciate you. I know we could really sit here all day long and talk about all things, everything. But I appreciate you coming on, sharing your wisdom. I hope it's life-changing for somebody out here. And this is Connie S. Falls with Life with Systems Podcast. And we'll see you guys soon. Love y'all. Bye.